Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Right, so Dillian Whyte, he spoke to The Express, and I'll put the article in the description box as always. And he spoke about Deontay Wilder saying how he wants to kill somebody, which is something that Wilder's been doing for quite some time. Okay, he's been talking about that ever since just before the rematch with Stavern. And he's always been saying how he wants a body on his record and everything, and he keeps on repeating it. And one of the reasons that he does this is because he wants people to perceive him as some kind of gangster from the hood or whatever. Okay, that's how he wants people to perceive him. The way that people used to perceive Mike Tyson as being an absolute animal in the ring. But nobody looks at Wilder like that. They look at him and just laugh at him because he's just batshit crazy. Okay, listen, the guy wants to be pregnant. Okay, he wants to kill somebody in the ring. I mean, that's just a stupid thing to say, especially with the fact that people do die in the ring. Okay, and what would happen if it happened to how would people feel if it happened to him? How would he feel if that actually happened to one of his opponents? He would regret it. Of course he would. What would happen if his PED cheap brother, Marcellus Wilder, if he got killed in the ring? It's not a good thing for him to be saying. But he just goes on like these mad tangents, and the way that he speaks, he twists his face, and to this day, and all that kind of thing. He's just absolute weirdo. But anyway, Dillian Whyte has responded to it in actually quite a calm way for Dillian Whyte, actually. And this is what Dillian Whyte had to say. It's nerves. All that stuff that Deontay Wilder says is just him being scared. Deontay Wilder is not a confident guy, so he says stuff in the heat of the moment, and then he realises what he said. That's why he apologises afterwards. He says, "You guys don't understand, it's my alter ego." It's just nerves. Someone's going to come to physical blows. Someone's training for you, you're training for them. Sometimes the pressure boils up, and what seems right, you might not be able to express it in the best way. Deontay Wilder is not the cleverest person. You can tell by the way he speaks. It's boxing. I'm going to try and knock you out. You're going to try and knock me out. So the feeling of that as the fight gets closer is intense. Dillian Whyte's statement. So for Dillian, that was very calm. Okay, whereas a week ago, he said that Deontay Wilder, he's just a crackhead, and crackheads say crackhead things. He's not a killer. And I think most people realise that when they look at Wilder with the way that he carries on. It's just ridiculous. Everything is extreme. He sees a camera and he feels like he needs to put on a performance. Okay, he reaches into the whole alter ego of the Bronze Bomber. But what he does is, in his mind, he feels like he's coming across and selling himself as a legitimate bad man. And he's probably talking to himself, thinking that other people are saying, "Oh, Deontay Wilder, he's such a crazy guy. God, he's a real killer," and whatever. But people don't. People look at him and go, "You're a weirdo. Okay, you're not a killer. You have one punch and that's it. And even that punch is usually an illegal one, which is a wrist on the back of the head of your opponent." Okay, that's how he fights. So, no, how he sees himself, in fact, he didn't really see himself as that, to be honest, I don't think. And if he did, he's an absolute weirdo. But people in general, people who know boxing, don't look at him like some kind of killer. He will never, ever, ever be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, he's not a role model. I mean, how can you be with some of the things that he says? You can't be a role model by saying, "I want to kill somebody in the ring. I really, really want a body on my record. I want to be pregnant. I want to go through childbirth." This is what he says. He calls the whole of UK racist, and everything is racism. And doing like his mad, stupid, to this day rants is just embarrassing. And he's an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment to his American people. I mean, considering that America produces great fighter after great fighter after great fighter through generation after generation, and then comes along this clown. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you. It really is. That if this is the best that America's got, and I understand why a lot of people switch off of boxing, because people love heavyweight boxing. And if you're not in love with heavyweight boxing, then, what do you do? And nationality is always an important role. Some people see boxing through racial eyes. That's how some people do it. They can't get out of the dark ages, okay? They keep on thinking that they're still in the times of Jack Johnson and Muhammad Ali and whatever. But boxing isn't like that anymore, and it shouldn't be like that. But some people just can't let it go. And Wilder feeds into the weak-minded. That's what he does. And for me, I'm not talking about all his fans. He's got a lot of intelligent fans, but he does have a fan section that are just weird. They're just totally odd. It's like they leave all common sense at the door. He drags in the dregs from the streets. Okay, these people who clearly have no education, and then they start up their own YouTube channels. That's what they do. They come across as if they're some kind of bad man in real life. You're not a bad man in real life. You're eating cheeseburgers behind your computer. That's what they're doing. It's very, very easy to spot who they are. Okay, but ultimately, Wilder's just a weirdo. And he just does weird things, and he says weird things, thinking that he's coming across as some kind of great, intimidating person, but he's not. People just look at him and laugh, think, you're just stupid. The things that you say, nobody can believe. You even turned down $120 million to fight Anthony Joshua, when for a long time you're saying that they didn't care about money. You just wanted a legacy fight. You just wanted Joshua. You're fighting for free. You didn't care about the money. Now it's only 120 million. Can't get in the ring. His record is piss poor. It's terrible. 41 fights against who exactly? And his last fight, he got a gifted draw. He should have lost that fight. So, in theory, right now, he's a paper champion, but thinks he's some kind of A-side. Well, actually, I think he knows that he's not, but he wants to try and convince people that he is. Because, as I said, there is a section of his fan base who are like zombie-like, who will just believe everything that he says. And even if they don't, they'll just go along with it just to troll. That's what they do, because they're not real boxing fans. They just create like this little community of people who are just weird, just very, very odd in everyday life, I would imagine. And I think that they all went to the same high school. I'm not too sure. But Dillian, as I said, you know, he sees Wilder as just scared. And when I had Dillian on the channel a couple of months ago now, actually, one of the things that he said about Wilder is that he's just odd. He fights scared. When he's inside the ring, the way that he fights like he's scared. That's why he just starts windmilling when he gets his opponent hurt. He just starts windmilling and throwing wild punches because he's just excited that the fight could be over. He's got that one chance. That's what he does. But at some point, all it's going to take is one person to just step forward and land one on him, and he will go to sleep. We know that Wilder is very, very chinny. We know he is. We've seen him rock to his boots on several occasions. We've seen him hit the canvas before as well against Harold Scorniers in his 13th fight. In fact, even now, I still get comments from Wilder fans saying how Anthony Joshua got dropped by a 40-year-old Vladimir Klitschko. Yeah, well, that was Joshua's 19th fight. Vladimir Klitschko, 10-year reigning unified heavyweight champion of the world with a crazy, was it 50, 60 knockouts or whatever it is? Harold Scorniers dropped Wilder and the bell saved him. Okay? A fact. Go look on BoxRec, his 13th fight, Harold Scorniers, and you'll see Deontay Wilder down in round number 2. Okay, so you really do need to know a little bit about the guy that you fanboy for, but this is the mentality of some of his fans. So, yeah, I mean, I can certainly see why Dillian Whyte says that Wilder's scared, because when you do watch him speak, he has to put on a performance. Okay, anybody who truly believes that they are dangerous, anybody who truly believes that they are that kind of person, don't need to speak it. They don't need to say it. But he feels the need to say how he's a killer and how his big right hand is something to be scared of. Well, yeah, it is if you're fighting bums, which is pretty much what he's always been doing, over-the-hill fighters, okay? This is what he does. Anybody can get a great percentage knockout and have that many fights with the level of opposition that he has been fighting. But as he's been moving up, even against Luis Ortiz, who was failing the medical 1 hour before the ring walk, Luis Ortiz gave him that work and had the referee have stopped it at the end of round number 7 and not helped him to the corner, and then gave him that minute rest at the end of round number 7, and then gave him a bit longer so the medical team can check him. Even Showtime were going, what the hell's going on there? They were helping him. But had the referee have stopped the fight, nobody would have complained because he was out of it. We've seen him get rocked to the boots by Eric Molina previously before. Arthur Spilker was battering him all over the ring. Tyson Fury got off the couch after 2.5 years, obesity, drugs, mental issues, got off the sofa, fought 2 cab drivers, went to America, sold that fight, and schooled Wilder. And because he gets dropped twice, people say, what, Wilder won that fight? You've got to be crazy. This is what I mean. People shouldn't be watching boxing. Okay, but anyway, I can totally agree with Dillian Whyte. Deontay Wilder is a scared, nervous fighter. That's why he acts the way that he does. He's an embarrassment to America, is what he is. People look and go, is this the best that you've got? This guy, he has to talk himself up because nobody else sees it, okay, in the hope that other people start talking like him. But as I said, he does have a bit of a zombie following who will just repeat everything that he says and go, yeah, he's a killer, yeah, he's this, yeah, he's that. Yeah, he really does have an alter ego. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a man being pregnant. Okay. Anyway, article in the description box. Go give it a read for yourself. It covers a little bit more than what it was that I said for Dillian Whyte's statement. So go give it a read. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up and, of course, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.